Hello and welcome. The first presentation tool that we'll be looking at is Microsoft PowerPoint. And without wasting time, let's get right into it. There are several ways by which you can launch Microsoft PowerPoint. If you come to the Start button of your system and you click on All, scroll down and look for Microsoft PowerPoint. When you click on it, it will launch Microsoft PowerPoint. Not only that, you can also, from here, from the Start button, after locating Microsoft PowerPoint, you can right-click and then pin it to the Start or pin it to the taskbar, because I'd already done that, so you can see it here. Alright, so when you come here and then click on it, it will launch Microsoft PowerPoint. And when you launch Microsoft PowerPoint, this is what you are faced with. I'm using the 2019 Microsoft PowerPoint version. But irrespective of whether you are using an earlier version, 2013, 2016, or even you are using a later version, 2021, 22, the functionalities are still basically the same. So, even if you are using MacBook, alright, PowerPoint functionalities are basically the same. So you have this. So you have options. Once you launch Microsoft PowerPoint, you can come here and click on New Blank Presentation, which is what I do most of the time. But you also have options as a beginner. You can come here and click New Presentation. If you click New Presentation, you have these options. You have different templates to choose from. All right, so once you click a template, it will load up. The template is going to load up, and then when you click create, it will create a template for you to adapt for your own presentation. All right, but that is not the reason why we are here. Let me close that. You can also, it also gives you an option to choose templates online. For instance, if you're doing a project presentation, let us type project presentation, and then click enter. So it is going to search online for different templates that is related to project presentation. And there you have it. So if you click on one, it will also load up like this. And then when you click on create, let me click on create and let's see what it comes up with. It is loading, and then here you are. So if we use the slideshow functionality, you see this beautiful design. Without even having to do it ourselves, it has given you a template that you can work with. But that is not the reason why we are here. So once you launch and you click on New Presentation, New Blank Presentation, you have this interface. And it is important that you understand what all this means, especially if you're not so familiar with Microsoft PowerPoint. See, what you have here, the Microsoft PowerPoint has what we call tabs. All these are tabs. You have the File tab, Home tab, Insert tab, Transition, Animation tab. And when you click on a tab, for instance, you click on Insert tab, it will open up what we call a ribbon. So each of these tabs houses ribbons, all right? And each ribbon is grouped into, the ribbon is grouped into various groups. So under the Insert tab, you have the Table group, you have the Picture group, Images group, you have the Illustration group, you have the Links group, and so on and so forth. And then if you look at the groups very closely, if you click, for instance, let's come to Home tab, you would see that aside from the different groups, you also have this tiny button that we call Launch button, because this group contain many more than the Microsoft interface can display at a go. So it has others that you can access by clicking on this launch button. So in addition to what you can see on the Microsoft window, you also have all these functionalities that you can use or play around with. So let me cancel that. The same thing here, if you click on this paragraph group, you have other paragraph functions that you can access by clicking on the launch button. So that is that you need to be familiar with the different terms. So we have, once you open a tab, this is the thumbnail for the tab, and this is the work area for that tab. And the first slide that you are going to be having is the title slide. So let us add a title here. So we add a title, History of Education. History of Education, a subtitle, let's say an introduction. Okay, so we are done with the title slide. But if you look at it, if you click out and look at this particular slide, it is looking so plain, so blank, so bland, not so presentable, not so attractive. But you can do a whole lot of things to change that. Now, if you come to design, for instance, all right, if you come to design, you have these different designs popping up, and if you click on the launch button here, you have a whole lot of designs. All right, and can you appreciate that as I am running my cursor across the different designs, you can see that you can pick from any design of your choice. For instance, if I love this and I want to pick on it, it will change the setting, the entire setting of the text. As you can see, it has introduced the background, it has chosen a font for me, and then a different arrangement and color arrangement. So if you love it, and then you insert a new slide, which you can do by clicking on insert and coming here, new slide, you can do that. You can see that the new slide follows the format of the design that you originally picked. All right, so, and then because this is a title slide, you have title and subtitle. This slide is the content slide. It has a heading, let's say module 1, for instance. So, and the content has trying to follow the rules that you have discussed earlier. So you can see this is your second slide, introduction. Okay, fine. So you can see, and even after having created the second slide and you still don't like any of this design, you can still go back. You can still go back to design and pick another one that you feel, resonates with your style. For instance, if I decide to choose this, you can see that everything changes. If I decide to choose this, everything changes. All right. So it does not matter whether, I have done like 10, 20, 50 slides and I discovered that I no longer feel comfortable with this particular design. You can choose and pick as you so wish. All right. So let me stick. Well, this is looking even better. For a beginner, just run with any design of your choice. As long as you keep to the rules of slides creation, you are good to go. And if you want to check your work, you can come here and click on the slideshow from here, or if you come to the home tab, you can see slideshow. You click on it and you decide if you want to start the slideshow from the beginning. You click on it, and then that's the first slide. Oh, sorry, this is the first slide, this is the second slide. You see how neat, how sharp, how beautiful it is. All right, so there are so many other things that you can do. Let me create another slide. Another way you can add a slide is by right clicking and then click on new slide. All right, I have done that. I say pre-colonial system of education. All right, and then I start with so I started, say, indigenous or traditional system. You, let's say, religious system. Let's say physical education. Now, this is how you continue to build your slides. Remember, I must have had all this content documented in a comprehensive outline from the word go. Okay, and the other thing that for some people who may not be comfortable with speaking offhand is that if you look at this place, if you come here, you will see click to add notes. Okay, let me expand it a bit. See click to add notes. You can actually click on this and then go to your outline or the lesson notes proper. So you can actually come to the comment section and okay, let me quickly generate a random text is equal to rand, open, close, and enter. Oh, fantastic. So let me copy this paragraph, for instance. You can actually copy what you want to, the details of the topic, and paste it in the comments area. All right, and it is possible for you to have access to this when you are actually making your presentation in such a way that only you is going to see what you have pasted here. We'll get to that in due course. A PowerPoint slide is supposed to be visually appealing, otherwise it loses its purpose completely. And what do I mean by that? If you look at your textbooks or your notebooks, all you have there are text and occasional diagram. So if you do not have a visual element to your slide, you are wasting a whole lot of resources. And there are so many ways you can add visual elements to your slide. If you come to the tabs area, you will see insert. You can insert picture from your device. Let me try and do that. Okay, let me open this. Let me pick cycling everywhere. Okay, for instance, I can add that and then reduce the size and position it anywhere I so wish. But this photo has nothing to do with the content of our slide, so I'm going to delete it. Okay, and then go back to insert, click on pictures and click on online pictures. So the images here, let me resize it. You can always resize by coming to the angles, and then once it changes to that double-edged arrow, you can resize and then come to the center to move it to anywhere you want. You can remove this. So, and then religious system, let me go back and insert from online. So we have the second image. You click on it, you can resize it by coming to the edge, and then you can move it anyhow you like, and then okay, let me limit it to those two. Let me remove this physical education. And then if you look at this, it is not really looking so neat. So let's say I created a space between traditional and okay, let me take this. Let me see if it can. Traditional, okay, and then let's see, and then religious. Okay. Good. So this represents religion system, this represents traditional system. Now the other thing you can do is to introduce animation to your slide. Remember, we said less is more when it comes to animation. For instance, for these two pictures, you click on it, you click on animation. When you click on animation, you can see the different types of animation gets loads up. It can fade in, fly in, float in. Let me try and open this animation pane. Open, please. Thank you. Well, so if you ask it to fly in, it will fly in. You can preview whatever it is you have done from here. Auto preview. If you ask it to float in, it will float in like that. If you ask it to fly in, it will fly in like that. And then click on this. Let's choose floating for that one. Okay. And if you click on slideshow to see what your animation actually does better, let's start from the beginning. And then if you click on tab, it will move to the next slide, or you click on the front arrow button, it will move to the next slide, or you click on enter, it will move to the next slide. So whichever one is comfortable for you to move from slide to slide when you are in the slide show format. Okay, so let's go. This is the title slide, second slide, third slide. You can see it is without the images. I click one, traditional, the photo flew in, and then the other one sliding or float in. So whichever one works for you, it is good. And if you want to exit this particular slideshow format, you press escape and then you are out of it. Okay, you can also decide whether you want these two images to come in together. Click on transition and then you come here. Click on animation, please. Sorry, I mean animation. Then if you click on how you want it to come on the slide, is it you want it on click, or you want it with the previous or after the previous? But because this is the first image, we may leave it, and then when we come here, let's say we want it to come with the previous image. So let's see, let's go back to our slide, and then you click, both of them came on at the same time. Although the first one flew in, the second one floated in, as we have determined from the start. So that is how you do that. Then how about transition? Transition deals with how slides come onto the screen. Okay, transition. To enjoy the best of how the transition would appear, you come to view and you choose slide sorter view. This is slide sorter. You click on it and then it will put all your slides into your desktop. All right, so if you come to transition, there are different transitions: morph, fade, push, wipe to the left, split, reveal. Let's select all the slides, Control All, and then let's click on push transition. As you can see, all right, that is how it's going to. Let's use reveal. Can you see that it will just reveal itself gradually and gradually? How about shape? Like that, and like that. So if you come here to look at the slideshow, that is exactly how it is going to move from slide to slide, depending on the transition that we pick. Like we always say, less is more. So having done that, let us come back home. Let us change the view back to the normal view, editing view. Okay, so after you must have you are satisfied with your slide. Okay, if you are satisfied, if you're not, you still want to change your design, you can always do that. You can always do that from the design tab. You can always do that from the design tab. Okay, so you can always choose whatever design that aligns with your own style. As you can see, this is another style. That is another style. Okay, so fine. When you are done, how do you save your work? How do you save your work? You come to File. When you click on File, it takes you to the back end of Microsoft PowerPoint. Here you will see all the different slides that you have created recently, and then you can come here to Save As. It will give you several options. Whether do you want to save in OneDrive? OneDrive is the equivalent of Google Drive, that is cloud storage. You have like 10 to 15 gigabytes of free cloud storage even in Microsoft OneDrive, just like you have in Google Drive as well. So, and if you want to save your work on your system, you click this PC and then decide on where you want to save it. Do you want to save it in download or on the desktop? Let us pick desktop for this, and then you choose a name for your file. Microsoft will automatically pick the first line of your presentation as file name. So if you are okay with it, history of education, I think I'm okay with that, and then I want it saved on desktop, confirmed, and then I click save. It will save it and go back to the editing mode. So if you need to continue to work, your work is already partly saved on the desktop. So that is how you create your presentation and edit your presentation, add visual elements, and then save your presentation. I will see you in the next presentation tool, which is going to be Google Slides.